The Nintendo 64 wasn't just a console, it was a whole era, blowing in cartridges like it was CPR, battling for the first controller, and trying not to lose your mind when the screen split into 4. In part 1, we're booting up the heavy hitters, the games that dropped jaws, broke records, and turned the N64 from a machine into a movement. This was the golden age. Z trigger pulling, analog stick grinding, and Mamma Mia echoing through the room type of energy. Hit that subscribe button, comment your favorite N64 memory, bonus points if you still own a Rumble Pack, and let's slide into the greatest run Nintendo ever had. This is where it all began. You boot up that N64, hear that crispy,
"It's me, Mario!"
and boom, the future just pulled up in overalls. Super Mario 64 wasn't just a Nintendo flex. It was the first time that our boy jumped out of that 2D life and started running around in a full 3D world.
Yo, listen up. We will not live in a two-dimensional world.
We won't go in one direction
or zig where we can zag. We will walk through walls. We will take a look around us.
We will not be confined.
And when I say full world, I mean jumping into paintings, triple jumping off of castle walls, and trying not to get smoked by a giant penguin in a foot race. Launched in 1996, this was the flagship, the system seller, the reason your cousin wouldn't let go of the controller. The movement was smooth. The camera, for its time, was revolutionary. And the freedom?
You could zoom in, zoom out, change angles. Go anywhere you want to go, do anything you want to do.
Man, it felt like unlocking the Matrix, but with mushrooms and Koopa shells. The game was a tech demo, a platformer, and a cultural reset all in one. It made you dream in polygons. It made collecting 120 stars feel like an Olympic mission. And when you beat Bowser for the last time and launched him off the stage with that tailspin, legendary. Super Mario 64 wasn't just a game. It was Nintendo telling the world, we run this. And from that moment on, the 64 was the spot. Now let's talk about the game that turned every living room into a Cold War battlefield. GoldenEye 007. It dropped in '97 and instantly had the streets, well, the bedrooms and basements, in a chokehold. This wasn't just a movie tie-in, nah, this was the blueprint for modern first-person shooters.
GoldenEye, load a rumble.
We had people yelling into headsets. GoldenEye had us screen peeking and beefing with our own cousins over who picked Odd Job, aka the cheat code in a tux.
Odd Job was so overpowered in GoldenEye's multiplayer mode that many players in tournaments went as far as to establish a no Odd Job rule.
You load it up, hear that slick spy music, and suddenly you're in the facility. Crouch walking with a silenced PP7, praying you don't get popped by somebody hiding in the bathroom stall. It wasn't just gameplay, it was pure tension. Split screen 4-player mode, iconic. Proximity mines, petty. And that golden gun, straight up disrespectful. But the real secret sauce was how this game felt. It wasn't about graphics or story. It was about vibe, about setting traps in the archives, about headshotting your homie with a club just to flex, and losing a friendship because somebody camped in the stack level with rockets only. Oh man. And let's not forget the solo missions, stealthing your way through snowy Russia, hacking computers with that big old watch UI, feeling like James Bond for real though. No online, no patches, no DLC, just raw skill, pure chaos, and bragging rights earned on that same couch. GoldenEye 007 didn't just slap, it taught a whole generation how to aim, strafe, and never trust a man holding a proximity mine. Very important lessons. If Super Mario 64 was the spark and GoldenEye was the fire, then Ocarina of Time was the full-blown celestial event. When this dropped in '98, it didn't just raise the bar, it rewrote the rules. This was Link's first step into 3D, and man, Nintendo did not play around. It was clear we weren't in pixelated Kansas anymore. This game had depth, and I ain't just talking about dungeons, time travel, and spiritual quests. Grown man Link showing up like, yeah, I came back with the Master Sword, what now? The storytelling hit harder than Ganon's Warhammer, and the boss fights, legendary. That forest temple still haunts me to this day, yo, I ain't gonna lie. And the water temple, bruh, if you know, you know. And the Z targeting system, that lock-on mechanic like giving players a third eye, it changed games forever. Every major action game since owes this title a royalty check, period. People didn't just play Ocarina of Time, they lived it. It was magical, it was mythical, and it made you feel like a chosen one, saving a kingdom with nothing but heart containers, a fairy sidekick, and a songbook. Ocarina of Time was a rite of passage, a journey, a masterclass. It wasn't just the best Zelda game, it's still in the convo for greatest game of all time. Think about it. You ever been hit with a red shell right before the finish line and suddenly question your whole relationship with the person sitting next to you? Yeah, that's Mario Kart 64 in a nutshell.
Fasten your seatbelts for a 360-degree burnout.
This game came out in 1997 and instantly became the unofficial test of friendships in every household. You could be chilling, all love and good vibes, then boom, somebody hits you with a lightning bolt mid-jump on Wario Stadium. And it's like, yo, we not cool no more. Mario Kart 64 was the 4-player party starter, the kind of game where little cousins could barely hold the controller and still somehow ruin your race. The controls were floaty, the tracks were wild, and the items, pure chaos in a box. And don't act like that blue shell wasn't sent straight from hell, man. We're talking Toad's Turnpike, where dodging traffic felt like a part-time job. Rainbow Road, beautiful, long as hell, and a guaranteed anxiety attack when somebody was bumped off the edge. And Yoshi Valley, that was GPS-free warfare. Nobody knew where to go, and the game didn't even tell you who was winning half the time. Just vibes. The characters each had their own sauce too. If you picked Toad or Yoshi, you were probably all about speed and chaos. Donkey Kong players, straight bullies. And the Mario and Luigi mains, balanced, but still petty when necessary. This wasn't about realism. This was about revenge. You could go from 1st to 8th in 10 seconds. Your only job was to survive and talk the most trash along the way. Mario Kart 64 wasn't just a racing game, it was a war zone with banana peels. And if you didn't unplug your friend's controller out of desperation at least once, were you even playing?
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. 4 words, infinite memories.
Do a barrel roll.
Star Fox 64 touched down in '97 and immediately had the N64 community flying high. This wasn't just a space shooter, it was a full-blown cinematic space opera squeezed into a cartridge.
We need your help, Star Fox. Andross has declared war. He's invaded the Lilac system.
And it came with that brand new rumble pack, so your controller could vibrate just like it caught turbulence in Sector Z. You felt every hit, and it was glorious. You piloted the R-Wing as Fox McCloud, the coldest pilot this side of Corneria, leading the tightest squad in the galaxy. Falco,
Back off, Fox! I'll take this one. Get the one behind me!
Peppy,
This is Peppy. All systems go. Slippy, watch out. Bogey on your tail.
and Slippy,
Thought you could hide from me, eh?
who were basically your chaotic space cousins. One minute they're blasting bogeys, Next minute, they're yelling help because they flew straight into a missile. Real talk, we all let Slippy catch a L once or twice. Don't lie.
I'm monkey food if I don't leave.
It felt like a Saturday morning cartoon you were controlling, and depending on how nice you were with the sticks, you could unlock secret paths and boss battles, turning a 1-hour playthrough into something with crazy replay value. Plus, let's talk boss fights. Giant robot monkeys, floating brains, bioweapons. The final battle with Andross was straight nightmare fuel and still goes down as one of the most intense N64 moments ever, especially when he pulls the fake out and hits you with the "I'm not done yet" move.
Only I have the brains to rule my life.
So, Andross, you show your true form.
Star 64 wasn't just flying and shooting. It was a whole experience. It was fast, flashy, and full of attitude, and we loved it. Before open world games were a thing, before collectathon was even a word, Banjo Kazooie came stomping through in 1998 like, yo, we got jokes, puzzles, bops, and a backpack bird that throws hands.
Bad guys beware! Here comes Banjo Kazooie, where you're both bird and bear with amazing power.
Developed by Rare, who, let's be real, was on a Michael Jordan level run during the N64 era, gave this game mad charm. You played as Banjo, the chillest bear in gaming, and your sidekick, Kazooie, who lived in your backpack, roasted everybody, and shot eggs out of her mouth like it was nothing.
There's never been anything like this head-banging, sky-flying, rock-hopping, egg-shooting, tag-teaming duo.
But don't get it twisted. This game wasn't all cute and cuddly. The puzzles could cook your brain. The platforming got real tight. And some of those challenges, outright brutal. If you cleared Rusty Bucket Bay without raging, you built different. BanjoKazooie was one of those games where everything just clicked. The humor, the gameplay, the art style. It was funny, creative, and weird in the best way. And it proved that the N64 had more to offer than just plumbers and power-ups. If Mario Kart 64 was the loud, messy block party, then Diddy Kong Racing was the low-key family reunion with actual structure, deeper tracks, and boss battles nobody saw coming. Released in late 1997, just a few months after Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing pulled up like, oh, y'all racing on tracks? That's cute. I got a whole story mode for you. Yeah, a full-on adventure, complete with a floating elephant named Taj, an evil pig wizard named Whiz Pig, and 3 types of vehicles: car, hovercraft, and airplane. Yeah, bruh, an airplane. This wasn't just kart racing, this was aviation warfare with bananas. And here's what really made it hit. It had heart. It didn't just copy Mario Kart, it expanded the genre. It gave you single-player depth, multiplayer chaos, and just enough janky N64 charm to make it unforgettable.
The rough riding, balloon grabbing, coin snatching, boss beating, rumble pack ready, racing adventure that's definitely off track for 1 to 4 players. Only on
Diddy Kong Racing was that game that you didn't expect to go so hard. And if you mastered flying those planes through those tight-ass caverns without crashing once, you were officially built for greatness. Before Forza had puddles and Grand Theft Auto had boats, Wave 64 pulled up in '96 like, yo, watch what water can do.
Trolling, rock and rolling, Wave Race 64, the first jet and sweating in your face race for Nintendo 64.
This was the Nintendo showing off, like straight flexing. You popped in that cartridge and suddenly your TV looked wetter than usual. The waves weren't just a backdrop, they were alive, moving, crashing, pushing your jet ski around like Mother Nature was on the sticks. This was next level physics in the 90s, and it had everybody shook. You weren't just racing, you were fighting the ocean. Hitting a perfect slalom in Dolphin Park or catching big air off the breakers in Sunset Bay felt like pulling off a combo in a fighting game. And the sound? Pure chill. Seagulls, splashes, announcers yelling great when you nailed the buoy turn. Straight dopamine. But this the part that people forget. Wave Race 64 was low-key intense. One wrong move, one missed buoy, and you were DQ'd like it was the Olympics. It demanded precision, but rewarded you with a feeling no other racer could replicate. Wave Race 64 was the kind of game that made you lean with the controller, squint at the screen, and yell one more race at 2 a.m. It was different, and in that era, different was legendary. And just like that, we've run through the elite crown jewels of the Nintendo 64 golden era. These weren't just games, they were moments. The ones that defined sleepovers, sparked controller fights, and made blockbuster late fees worth it. From Mario's first leap into the 3D, to GoldenEye showdowns and high-speed banana peel beef, Part 1 was the celebration of the hits that put the N64 in the Hall of Fame. But trust, we're not done. In Part 2, we're diving deep. Cult classics, underground legends, and wildcard games that made N64 more than just a nostalgia machine. If this walk down cartridge lane had you feeling the vibe, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your favorite N64 memories in the comments. Whether it was beating Bowser or rage quitting Rainbow Road, Part 2 is loading, and it's about to get even wilder. See you then.